What's going on, guys? We are here with our week, what is it, 6? I think it's week 6. Hold on, let me use Discord real quick. We are facing Ronder, and this is actually a pretty important match for me. I feel like this match will decide how likely playoffs is. If I win, I feel like I'm in a pretty good spot to get playoffs. If I lose, it's going to be a rough uphill battle the last few weeks we got. If I lose, I'm not completely out of the running, but it will be difficult. So he brings a lot of what I expected. I do not see the melodic, which is fantastic, because I have a little bit of a cheeky Empoleon set here, and without the melodic, it means it could potentially do a lot of work. I also see Zarude is just a fantastic lead. It outspeeds everything on his team, bar like Scarf, Rabombi, and Weavile. So I can get off a nice U-turn. I could also lead off with Beedrill, which outspeeds everything on his team, bar Scarfers. I feel like he might want to lead off with Rabombi to set up webs. Or with Incineroar to get an Intimidate parting shot. So I'm thinking Rabombi or Incineroar are the two likely leads. Either way, I feel like Beedrill is the better play in either case. He could lead off with Xurkitree. I think Xurkitree is just barely the speed tier where... Yeah, it's just barely above the base 80 speed tier where Scarf does mean an outspeed by Beedrill, which is kind of annoying. Especially since I don't have any specially defensive Pokemon this week. I brought all Fizz defense. He does not bring the Mega Medicham, which is not surprising to be honest, because I had a lot of checks for it, but it is also a relief because that thing is just scary even if you do have checks for it. And I'm seeing no priority outside of Ice Shard from Weavile and maybe Sucker Punch from Nidoking. So if I can set up with Empoleon, we could be pretty spicy. Empoleon looks like it'll have to set up on the Rabombi. It doesn't really get any other great opportunities to set up, except if like it's banded Weavile into Ice Shard. Although I don't think he likes banded Weavile. I think he prefers Life Orb or maybe Sash. I prefer my Weavile's Life Orb. I like that versatility. I don't like locking myself in. He is certainly taking his time figuring out what he wants to lead off with. And there's the Weavile. He could absolutely go for an Ice Shard, but I don't think that'll kill. Beedrill Mega. Ice Shard does not kill, even banded. And I don't really need HP on this thing. I mean, it dies to any actual hit, and I'd love to get a U-turn off on this thing. And Ice Shard, like I said, is really his only priority, so getting rid of that would also be super nice. So I also see no reason not to go for a U-turn. If he does happen to crit me. No, not Z-move, crit. Crit does guaranteed kill if he's banded. So there's a fake out. There is a Life Orb. So at this point, Ice Shard will kill. And we do see the Life Orb. So he's absolutely going for Ice Shard here. Doobly could eat the Ice Shard, but then I need it healthy for the Zapdos too. And I don't want to take a knockoff right off the bat. So yeah, he has to go for Ice Shard here. Um, Nidoking is actually kind of a problem. I really don't have a switch into that thing. Yeah, he just gets free Sludge Waves. The only thing that doesn't want to take a Sludge Wave are Empoleon and Doublade. Yep, there's the Ice Shard. But then they can't also take an Earth Power after that. He might just go for a knockoff here. Actually, I will go for an overheat. Because he's either going to go for a knockoff, or he'll go into Nidoking, possibly expecting the Volt Switch. And nothing else really wants to take an overheat either, so... Okay, other than Incineroar, obviously. I'll just go for this low Volt Switch. Actually, no, I think I'm faster, so... It won't be a slow Volt Switch. So I need to do calcs on Zapdos from Empoleon. What does Zapdos need to be at for... No, shoot. I want Galarian. +2 Mystic Water. So it needs to be at 88%. So I just need the littlest bit of chip damage on Zapdos. He probably went for the parting shot and or the knockoff. He's not going for the Flare Blitz, so I think Zarude is a fairly safe switch in. Losing the Scarf is would be unfortunate, but I don't think I really need the Scarf. It's still nice for Weavile, actually. But I have nothing else that really wants to come in on this thing. Oh, I don't think Incineroar doesn't get knockoff, does it? I think it only gets Darkest Lariat. I want Sword Shield. And... oh, it does get knockoff. So there's two options. I could go into Zarude, or I could go into Greninja. He has no switch-ins to Hydro Pump. I just want to do a quick... see if he is Assault Vest. Incineroar, Defensive Pivot versus Rotom. Heat. Overheat did 20%. So that does look to be max HP Mineral. And not Assault Vest, so that's good to know. Yeah, I think I want to go into Greninja here. Even if he does go for the parting shot, he's not going to go into Nidoking. Alright, so he goes for the knockoff. And Hydro Pump is super safe. Yeah. Nothing else wanted to take a knockoff. And if I was going to lose one item, it would be the Choice Specs. So let's just go for a Hydro Pump. I mean, something's going to take a lot of damage, even if I'm not Specs. Yeah, this team is a little bit more offensive than I usually like. You guys know I like to play bulky offense. But, I mean, his team is just so offensive that, and my defensive checks were not checks at all. Like Nidoking, I had no switch into Nidoking on my team, other than like Spadef Rotom. But you know, I like my defensive checks to have reliable recovery. You know, anything that wants to take an Earth Power can't take a Sludge Wave, and vice versa. And then there's, you know, Mega Medicham, which wrecks everything on my team except for Doublade. But then he has other checks to Doublade, like Incineroar and Nidoking and Weavile, and, you know, any special attacker. Ideally, he would go into Zapdos here, so I can get the necessary damage off that I need for Empoleon to sweep. He also didn't bring Dragapult, which is interesting. I feel like Dragapult, I mean, it's not great against my team, but it's not bad either. Like, Dragapult is... The way I think about Dragapult is it just covers any holes that you have. Like, it has great speed. And has pretty good offensive stat with a decent coverage pool. So, like, it just... Like, it's not fantastic against my team, like I said. But, like, I don't really have any checks to it because it has, like, a huge range. So I'm kind of surprised he didn't bring that. It is outsped by Beedrill, which is kind of like the shortcoming. And, yep, that is the first time I finally got Battle Bond off. Greninja has not done anything. I'm pretty sure this might be Greninja's first kill all season. So I'm interested to see what he goes into now. If he goes into Zapdos or Xurkitree, I'm almost positive those things are scarfed. Oh yeah, so there's the Zapdos. So here's the question. I need just a little bit of chip in order to sweep with Empoleon. So I could go for Water Shuriken here just to get the chip that I need. Or I play it safe and go into Doublade. But then he's probably just going to go for a U-turn. Alright, this is what I'm going to do. I don't think Beedrill is useful. It gets taken out by Ice Shard. Can't do anything to Zapdos. And it does kill Ribombee, however, Ribombee is what I need to set up with Empoleon. So I actually don't want Beedrill for a Rabambi. So I'm going to sack Beedrill here as he goes for a U-turn. Yeah, Doublé was a safe play here, but I didn't want to give him momentum back into Nidoking, because then something dies. So I'm totally fine just sacking Beedrill. And here comes the Weavile. I'll just take the Fake Out and sack the Beedrill. Or there's the Ice Shard. What does Zarude take from Ice Shard? And also does Zarude kill with U-turn? Choice Band, it is Life Orb. Ice Shard does 51% max. U-turn does 73% minimum. So U-turn does kill. So I'll take the Ice Shard and go for the U-turn. Because either Weavile goes down or he switches out and I gain the momentum. And this is why I have Scarf Zarude, just to check the Weavile. And also the Dragapult were it to come. So I'm fine with taking the damage if it means I can kill the Weavile. Ideally, he goes out into Rabambi here, and I get the free switch into Empoleon. Unfortunately, he doesn't have the Intimidate anymore, which means I don't get the free Defiant boost. And I could let him get Webs Up, but it's not ideal. Alright, so... Oh, he doesn't go for the Ice Shard, so interesting. So... Options here. So if I go into Greninja, he goes into Zapdos. If I go into Rotom, he goes into... what? Nidoking, maybe? Or the Rabambi? The only thing that scares me about going to Rotom, I doubt he has it, but if he sub-Circuitry, that could be an issue. But I do have the Shadow Sneak into Water Shuriken into Zarude, so yeah, I'm gonna go into Rotom. Yeah, interesting that he didn't go for the Ice Shard. Maybe he was hoping I get a low roll. It wouldn't kill the Weavile. I don't know what he was planning for there. I mean, I was obviously scarfed the way he brought it in, so I don't think he was thinking I was like sub something. Even if I was, like the double Ice Shard would break my sub and I'd be at like 25%. So, yeah, I don't know. I think he goes on to Rabambi here. I'm hoping he goes on to Rabambi. But Zapdos doesn't have any damage yet. Excuse me. If he goes on to Rabambi, I Volt Switch into Greninja. And the Water Shuriken, yeah. He'll outspeed. He'll get his Webs Up most likely. Yep, there's the webs. Water Shuriken should kill from that range. But I don't want it to kill. Otherwise, I can't sweep with Empoleon. I don't think I'm going to be able to sweep with the Empoleon, so the best I can do here is just go for the agility. But then he's just going to go on to Zapdos. Oh well, I don't really have a better play. So let's go for the agility. I wish I was substitute. Just don't go out to Zapdos. Stay in with Ribombee. Go for like sub or something. He's not going to go for substitute. Go on to Nidoking. Nidoking would be the best play. Go on to Nidoking. Goes on to Xurkitree. Interesting. Whoo! Empoleon gets a kill. Yeah, here we go. If he does go out, he has to go on his Zapdos here. And if he does, we just go into Rotom, let him take the Rocky Helmet damage. And then he's at range for the next waterfall. Yeah, there's the Zapdos. So we just go into Rotom. Actually, he has to go for close combat here, right? So we go into Doublade. Unless he's bluffing the Scarf. If he's been bluffing Scarf Zapdos this whole time, then whew, props. Ah shoot, there's the U-turn. All right, so we sack Doublade here. Just go for the Shadow Sneak. Actually, what is Water Shuriken? Michigan J, Water Shuriken due to Nidoking. No specs. Water Shuriken does a minimum of 95%, so yeah, just one Shadow Sneak to guarantee it kills. Shoot, if he hadn't... I mean, that was a smart play on his part, or it wasn't... It was a tricky play on his part, going for the U-turn. Because he knows he doesn't want to lock himself into close combat, because that gets Doublade if free switching. But he also really didn't want to risk me staying in with Empoleon, so, I don't know, interesting. There's the Flamethrower. Let's just calc Shadow Sneak's damage. It did 19%. So yeah, that does look to just be a min roll, no HP. So excuse me. Water Shuriken should do the trick. And if he goes out into Zapdos or Rabombi, then that gets the chip damage I need for Empoleon. How does he win? Zapdos can just click close combat now. So I need to keep Rotom healthy so that I can go for a Volt Switch. I think he has to sack the Nidoking here. Or the Rabombi. I think he sacks Rabombi, goes into Zapdos. I sack the Zarude. Because Zarude doesn't do me anything. Yeah, I think he sacks Rabombi here. What is... Yeah, there's the Rabombi. What is Water Shuriken do to Zapdos? Water Shuriken. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's still specs. I was like, dang, that's just a lot. So it does around 40%. So I want to save Greninja because the interesting thing is if I get Rocky Helmet damage on Zapdos, then 2 Water Shurikens could take it out. So that means next time Nidoking comes in. Alright, so here's what I do. I sack Zarude. Interesting. See, if he had gone for the Ice Shard, Zarude would have died. But then I would have gotten a free switch into Nidoking, or into Greninja. So, you know. Pros and cons. Ah, Nidoking lives. Dang. Alright, dang it, yet another week that... Oh, no, Zarude did kill Weavile, so... Zarude got a kill. That's all I wanted. So here I go into... Greninja and Water Shuriken. And then I sack Empoleon, let him get some defense drops. And then I go into Rotom, Volt Switch into Water Shuriken. And then, yeah, this should kill. If the Volt Switch doesn't kill, alright, the Volt Switch does kill. Cool. Yeah, so we win 2-0. Good game, Ronder. I'm definitely looking forward to hearing his commentary too. But that was, whew. Yeah, that was a fun battle. Yeah, that was a really fun battle. I enjoyed that one. a lot of thinking ahead. I feel because I think we both were trying to look ahead to see what our win cons were. With him, obviously, it was Zapdos. With me, it was a cross between Greninja and Empoleon because he just had no water resists. Um, but yeah, that was a lot of fun. So with this win, I feel like we're in pretty decent shape for getting into playoffs. Obviously, it's not guaranteed. I could play horribly the next few weeks and get dropped out. But I think with this, we're 4-2, and yeah, I think we're in a pretty decent place. So thanks for tuning in, guys. I'm not sure who I'm fighting next week, but I will see you then. See ya.